Hey guys, it is Elisa. Welcome back to the Elisa Redwoods channel. I have some interesting news today. This is Clover, my baby. Say hi. Okay, so let's just cut straight to it. I have decided to quit social media. Oh boy, this is a doozy. This video is a doozy. I wasn't necessarily looking forward to making this video, but I have been feeling like this for a while and it's time. This is not the first time since social media has become a thing. I've done this where I will have social media for a couple years and then I will delete everything and I'll be gone for whatever, 2, 3, 4 years, and then I'll come back. So I just feel like it's really affecting me and my life. And so I did a little research. I was like, I wonder if anybody else feels like this on YouTube. And it was just endless videos of people saying that quitting social media has completely turned their life around, changed their life, bettered their life. Then I rewatched the documentary called The Social Dilemma on Netflix. Oh my God. That was terrifying. It is a documentary on Facebook and how it's designed, how it exploits people, the bad, very, very bad. Let's just put it that way, very bad. You should watch it. Everybody should watch it. Anybody and everybody who has social media should watch it. So, so my main form of social media was Instagram. I really liked Instagram. It was nice and simple and clean, just pictures. Had a small following, like 2,700 people. And then slowly but surely, Instagram's killed my algorithm, just kind of like, they've done before. So I decided to move back to Facebook. Okay, so I, for years, have had an empty Facebook page with just my profile picture. Nobody on my friends list. People over the years have asked me many times, what's your Facebook? I want to add you. What's your Facebook? I want to add you. And I'd always say, I have a blank page, but I don't add people. No one would ever understand. I only had the Facebooks that I could have access to the Messenger, to video call, people, friends that live far away, and have access to the groups, because everything is on Facebook. Events, all the groups, everything is just on there. So, the world revolves around it, or vice versa. So I had it to have access to my groups because I am, for example, a developing medium, and the groups on that is where I meet with the other fellow students to practice my mediumship. So I had to have a page, but I had no news feed, you know what I mean? No friends added, so it was fine. I got it in my head that I was going to start adding people back that I knew, and it just kind of, the ball started rolling. Facebook made me a content creator. I started making reels because it was my creative outlet. It was fun. And it got out of control, and then it became full-blown addiction. I have 2 addictions. Food. That will have to be a different video, probably a series of videos. It's very vulnerable for me to talk about that. I have been actively working on that and making some progress. I am going back to my roots and transitioning back to high raw vegan. And it's been really, really good, but very hard to get there because of my food addictions. Anyways, that's another video. Like I said, my other addiction is social media. So, it's just the endless scrolling on the reels, both on Facebook and on Instagram. I had a TikTok for a short amount of time. Holy crap. That was probably the most addictive. I immediately had to delete it. I was like, there's no way. I'm way too addicted already. There's no way. So those have been my only social medias, IG and FB. So, just scrolling on the reels. I like watching them. I like making them. But it goes too far with how long I'm scrolling. Facebook is one big cluster, FUCK. Everything political and people's drama and just, what people think are funny, the jokes, the memes, but they're actually super just like cringe and offensive, and just, it's just too much. it's too much. And then they bombard you with the ads and bombard you with videos of animals being hurt and just all this stuff that I don't want to see whatsoever. And it's just a big monster. It's so much worse than IG for me. But nevertheless, I became addicted to, on Facebook, scrolling the news feed. Because I'm a content creator, I have notifications all day long. I like to try to reply to all my comments, which is crazy, or at least react to them. And I get them all day long. And so that's taking up so much of my time. And I haven't been working on my goals. And I've noticed that little by little, I'm feeling more depressed, if you want to say, definitely anxiety. And, you know, as I meditated on it, I'm like, where is this coming from? It's coming from social media. It's too overstimulating for our brains. Our brains did not, did not develop to handle that kind of overstimulation. It's like being at a casino, like living there 24/7, like blinking lights and noises. And that's what it's like, you know, being on Facebook. So, I wrote down a couple of, so for example, the damage that it does to me physically or to everybody, it's really bad for your eyesight. I've always prided myself as someone who had great eyesight, never had glasses, nothing like that. And then within this last year, granted, I know my age and everyone's like, you know, it had to happen at some point, but I really think it's because of how much my eyes are on my phone. Screens are really bad for your eyes, and out of nowhere, I'm blind. I can't see like really close up, like small print on the phones. It's blurry and it's like freaking me out. So it's damaging my eyesight. It's damaging my eyesight. It's damaging your eyesight. I have a weird condition, if you want to call it. I have severe EMF sensitivity, electromagnetic frequencies. So things like Wi-Fi, they really hurt me, like literally physically hurt me. Like to hold my cell phone, it hurts, it burns. And with me being addicted to it, I got to the point where I'm just holding my burning ass phone. I'm just like, whatever. Like, what? That's not okay. Not okay. So it's literally, who knows what it's doing? Like, is it like burning away my tissues? Why is it hurting? What specifically is it doing? I don't know. It's really scary. One memento, please. It's also greatly affecting my sleep, you know, the blue light, whatever, we all know about that. I'm scrolling late at night, and it makes me stay up later because I'm like so into what I'm watching. I'm just like, one more, like an actual addict, you know, and then I stay up an hour, 2 hours later than I should. And then my brain is like all buzzed from the blue screen, the blue light. And then I can't sleep. And I already have dealt with insomnia on and off throughout my life. So it's just no bueno all the way around. It affects, people's productivity. It makes you procrastinate. It's just like one big distraction. We use it as our way to kind of distract ourselves from what we should be doing. So it is affecting me from working on my goals. Granted, I could say the same thing for, you know, Netflix and Hulu and all that kind of other stuff. But that's not nearly as big of an issue as just, you know, the straight up standard social media, at least for me. But it is something that I do need to keep an eye on, that I don't replace social media with watching movies or whatever on Netflix. So it does statistically has been proven to cause depression and anxiety and to affect your mood, like on a daily basis, to make people grumpy, to make them feel like there's a cloud over their head. Because if you're scrolling and then you're like, okay, I'm done. You put it down, you know, it's like 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes later, you're like, you have that itch to just check again, especially if you hear the ding and you know you have a notification, you're like, I gotta know what they said in the comment or whatever. And when you feel like you're not in control anymore, and that you're like how do I say it? Not a victim. Like basically just when you feel like you have no control over it and you just have to grab it, that's definitely going to affect your mood. And I don't want that. So like I said, wasted time, you know, decreased productivity. It's like living your life on automatic sort of, and it's not even real life. It's this super altered life of like people's highlights. You're watching people's highlights from their life. You're not seeing the whole picture. You're seeing the best parts, and some of it's not even real. Some of it they're lying about. And it makes you sometimes start to compare yourself. If I see that these people are entrepreneurs and living, the dream life that I wish I had, where they're, traveling the world constantly and working from a computer on some beautiful beach, I'm like, damn. And then I start to feel bad about myself. It may be different for you, comparing yourself to whoever on your newsfeed, but that's kind of what it is for me. Sometimes that's maybe not the biggest issue, but sometimes it does come up where I feel envy or, especially for younger people. Oh, don't even get me started on how toxic and unhealthy this is for young people. The bullying, and maybe like, can you imagine if you're 13 and everybody's on social media and you see that your friend invited everybody to her birthday party except for you, and just like what kind of feelings that would, conjure inside of you. It's just so super toxic for people's mental health. And that overstimulation is causing me anxiety. It is. It's like an agitation almost. And the feeling the need to, just keep grabbing my phone, even though it's literally hurting my hand. And it's just time for me to take control of that. Sometimes, depending on what you see and who's on your newsfeed, it can make you feel like not worthy. It's a little, complex when you're a content creator and you're posting a reel that you put your creativity into, and you're like, oh, I didn't get as many likes as the last one, or, oh, I wonder why my friend didn't like it. Or if you have mutual friends and you see that they're engaging with your mutual friends' content, but not yours, and then you're like, well, are they upset with me? Like it's so unnatural, and I'm sure you already know this, but this is kind of just, a reminder and me explaining, what's going on with me. There is so many studies that it's proven to do brain damage. It creates a shortened attention span. I mean, reels now, I don't know how it got to be like that. Well, it was designed like that, but they're like 6 seconds long. You know what I'm saying? So we now have the attention of a goldfish. Like seriously, I'm saying statistically from the studies, that's what they're telling us. So shortened attention span. I can't even read my own writing. Blah, 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 blah. Overstimulation, what is that word? Inability to focus. I can't read my own writing. I'm left-handed. Inability to focus. They're calling the ability to focus in the workplace the new IQ, because so little people have it. That's so crazy. And it's all, because of social media. When your brain is that overstimulated constantly, it doesn't allow your brain to kind of reset and to have that downtime that we had, if you're my age or older, in a time when, before we had social media and before cell phones, we had time to be bored. We had time for the boredom to turn into imagination, and for the brain to kind of have that relaxation and, that downtime. And now with social media, that doesn't exist. It's a constant, your brain, being overstimulated, which it's going to restructure your brain to be something that it's not supposed to be. Oh my gosh. I'm like even overwhelmed just thinking about it. But I've been, because I've been watching these documentaries and videos about it all, and it's kind of been causing me a little bit of anxiety. Like, oh, like it's just, it's reassuring me that this is the right decision watching those videos. But at the same time, the videos are a little bit like, oh, so making me cringe that, this is what it's doing to me and what it's done to me. So I also have, besides, your normal life, goals that I want to work towards, and this has become my distraction to not work on them. I also have spiritual goals, that, are not gonna come to fruition if I'm somebody who is using, this toxic space, because God, there was this documentary I was watching, and I kind of left watching it and, was having my own epiphany about how it's a world, this virtual world of people's egos and their alter egos and their shadow self and what they're trying to portray, and then what they're saying to you sometimes in their reactions is coming from their ego self, and that affects what you're about to say. And it's so twisted and so dark and not real, and we are taking part in this intentionally, every single day. Not to mention the fact that they're totally exploiting us. We are the product. We're not the customers. We don't pay for this social media. The customers are the third parties that pay for the ads. We're the products. We are what they are selling to the third parties, because they are stealing every single tiny bit of information of our lives. And it's not cool. We have zero privacy. And anyways, that's a whole another tangent. Spiritual goals. So for example, with like meditation and astral projection and those kinds of things that really take like a cleansed spiritual palate, which also the vegan high raw diet is definitely going to help with this as well, which I'm excited about that. But you can't have, this toxic thing that you're constantly dipping your toe into, every 15 minutes, and then working on, these esoteric types of things, raising your kundalini and, aligning your chakras and getting to certain levels in meditation and so forth. Those worlds just, they just don't go together. They just don't. So, I struggle because I have goals. I don't know if I want to say what those goals. Okay. I intend on having a podcast. My long-term goal is to be a professional medium, and there's other goals that I have. And the world is set up these days to where you kind of need social media to advertise and as your platform. Yes, I can have a regular website, and that is what I'm going to do if need be. But it's like, how do you get an audience over to your website if you're not advertising on social media though? So I'm like, ugh, you know what I mean? But I just feel like this is what I need to do. I don't know. I don't really necessarily want to just fully delete my Facebook account. I'd like to go back to the way it was before, where it was just a blank page. I had my profile picture. I had nobody on my friends list. Therefore, I had no news feed to scroll. And like I said, I just used the empty account to have access to my groups and for my practices and my circles and stuff. I'd like to go back to that, but am I going to go and delete almost 8,000 people, that are following me? It's like, I don't want, okay. It's just, it's a mind fuck. It really is. But I got myself here. So, yeah, I got myself here. So I need to get myself out. And if you're sitting there thinking, well, I'm not like you. Like, I only log in once in a blue moon, doesn't affect me. Or I log in once a week for 10 minutes and then I'm out. That's awesome. Congratulations. Then if you have that kind of discipline and, you're not affected by it like I am, that's great. But with the type of life I'm trying to live, I need to be honest with myself and I need to be authentic. And at this point, I want my whole life to basically just be self-care, self-love, and self-growth, which is what this channel is. This is why I created this channel. If you look at the banner of the top of my YouTube page, it says law of attraction and self-development, spiritual content. And I want to be authentic. And there's going to be some cons, FOMO, fear of missing out. But the pros of deleting it astronomically outweigh the cons. And when you have those immediate fears like, oh, hell no, there's no way I could delete it. I won't know what my family's up to. First of all, those are excuses that we make because life existed long before there was social media and they were fine. We were fine. And it's not natural to know every little thing about what's going on in everybody else's life at all times. It's so not the way it's supposed to be. And if the people that are important enough in your life, you can call them. They can call you. You know what I'm saying? You can call and say, hi, whoever, your best friend, blah, blah, blah. How was your trip to Greece? Tell me about it. Did you take pictures? Send me a couple. Text me a couple pictures. You know what I mean? You don't need to see every little thing from everybody at all times. It was never supposed to be that way. So, yeah. What else? This is why I don't like doing these raw, unedited videos, just in case I come to a halt like this. It's also kind of a shallow form of interaction that we have. You might have 100 people hitting enter on that automatic fill of where it says, what do you want to say to this person in the comments? Happy birthday. And it's already filled in, happy birthday, with the little emoji, and all you have to do is hit enter. You didn't even say happy birthday. You just hit enter, or gave your friend a like or a share or a view. I know it's the way it is now, but it doesn't have to be. And it's a shallow form of interaction. It really is. And it's unfortunately, it's taken the place of us, having quality time with people. And I don't like that. I'm old school, I guess you could say. I would much rather have 1 or 2 friends call me on my birthday or take me out to a birthday lunch. Just shoot me a quick phone call, happy birthday, da, 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 than have 200 people, happy birthday, in a comment. And we intuitively know that. You can feel it. It doesn't matter how much attention you get, how big of an influencer or content creator you are. It still doesn't ever it doesn't ever genuinely make you feel good, because it's not real. We're trying to fill a void, and it's none of it's real. And the people that create these platforms know that, and they take advantage and they exploit us and get us hooked on dopamine release in our brain, because it literally says it in all the documentaries. They say it's designed the way it is on purpose. They know that it's like a little, what did they say? It's like a little treat that you get when you log on and there's notifications. It makes a little bit of dopamine release in your brain. Like, ooh, I got a notification. Ooh, somebody replied to my comment. And so it gets you addicted to that. And that's not good. That's not good. So as much as I'm going to miss memes, I love comedy. That's what I make comedy reels. I think they're funny. I make memes. I'm gonna miss that part, and the shallow interactions, I guess, with the people that I have. But I've done this before. Like I said, I've deleted my social media for years at a time, and yeah, for a couple weeks, it's a little rough. You're gonna have withdrawals. It's just, have you ever quit sugar? Nothing's gonna be as hard as quitting sugar. I've quit sugar. And it's, oh my God, it's really, really hard. Like, it's scientifically proven to be harder than quitting, I don't know if I'm allowed to say certain words, street drug. It's really hard. So yeah, you're going to have withdrawals, but these are all excuses. People say like, well, I could do, I just don't want to. That's the classic line from any addict. You know what I mean? And it's the addiction part of your brain that's telling you, no, there's no way you could leave it, because then you'll miss out on what's happening with so-and-so. And it's all bullshit. It is. And all of that inner dialogue, once you surrender to it and just let it pass, it goes away. And once you delete it and you get past the withdrawals a week later, it all goes away. And that natural part of being a human being comes right back. And you get back to that that rhythm of being a natural human being, and not constantly like, oh, where's my phone? Where's my phone? You know what I mean? If you're out somewhere beautiful and you take a picture, if the first thing in your head is like, oh my God, what a beautiful picture, I have to post it, like that, like it's not natural. And so, anyways, you get right back to being, a natural human being and being present and living in the moment. I hear so many people saying, especially people that are like 35 and older, saying, "Oh my God, where is the time going? It is going so incredibly fast. What is happening?" Well, that's because we're living our life on automatic. Just scrolling like a zombie. You know what I mean? So put the phone down. Put the phone down. Delete the apps, because you'll go right back to it. Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm going to do a little social media detox for 30 days. For what? That's like saying I'm going to take a break from heroin for 30 days, but then I'll go back to it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, if anyways, my point was that once you get rid of it all, you go back to being a natural human being. It all kicks back in, and you will be living in the present moment. You'll start to read books again. You'll start to, look at the surroundings around you and enjoy your interactions with people more, and get back to the things that you've always been wanting to do. I want to learn the guitar. I want to learn a second language. This will probably make me make more of an effort to meet more friends, to like hang out with in real life and go hiking with and stuff. So yeah, anyways, enough of that. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm doing it. And yeah, so I think that I will delete my main Instagram page, and like I said, I just want to go back to an empty page on Facebook, probably. I just wish that I could just remove the news feed and then it would be fine. I just leave everybody on my friends list, and I wouldn't have the news feed, it'd be fine. But they don't have that feature. You can't do that on your phone. So I haven't quite figured out what I'm doing there. But I think I will hold on to my shop page on Instagram, because I have a little vintage shop. As long as I can discipline myself not to go looking at reels. If I do that, then I'm going to have to delete that page too. But I think it'll be okay, because I'm not following anybody. So there will be no news feed for me to scroll. And I'm going to keep my YouTube. I don't have addiction problems with YouTube. I do watch YouTube, but it's all stuff I'm learning. So I'm watching spiritual content, health content. I use it as a learning resource. Yeah, so I will keep my YouTube and my shop page on Instagram tentatively. We'll see. And got to figure out what I'm doing with Facebook, because can't keep going like it is. It's got to go. It's got to go. Anyways, I am going to shut up. Holy crap, this video is way longer than I intended, but hopefully you got something out of this. I will make another video in a while with some tips, because I've done this before. This is not my first rodeo. On how to make it easier for you, and some alternative options for you if you also are considering removing social media from your life, which I think is an amazing decision, and I hope that you are considering it too. Please subscribe. Please leave me a comment. Like my video if you want to support my channel. And yeah, that's it. I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.